There's love is universal, sexuality is universal. We're all spiritually connected. So once you get past the differences of social cultures and you evolve to a level of acceptance and love of them, and again, that can be a spiritual block for more people on the spiritual journey than they realize, because otherwise they still have these personal prejudices towards other cultures, whereas what we're doing is extremely connected. Because if you're still viewing this as J-pop, you don't get it. You don't get it. See, that's the experience people see is disconnection. I'm not interested. I'm not personally interested in J-pop. I don't understand the language. Or, oh, they're kind of girly and something. What we're doing is far, far beyond that, because there is no judgment. There is no prejudice in your consciousness, in your subconsciousness, that would hold you back from a spiritual experience and a relationship of your yang masculine to the divine feminine consciousness that is within them, that transcends their social culture. So that's the level I've been on for thousands of hours. And once you get natural grounding, you're in. Like, clear your prejudices towards other cultures, then you won't have any spiritual resistance. That way, everything becomes hyper-powered. So you're actually connecting to the universal divine feminine and the spiritual energy that these women have. So you want to be on that clear level, so there's no resistance spiritually towards the social culture. You want to love. Love is the answer. Love, accept, embrace them on the sociocultural level. Connect to Japanese culture in some way. Accept it, fully accept it in your consciousness. Whew. Some powerful stuff. Just doing that, and you will start attracting sushi. You will start attracting sumo wrestling and all kinds of height things. And it's just, no, don't worry about that. It's really important. You don't have to actively fall in love with the culture, but at least respect it, love it, accept it. And from there, then you can move into a higher experience spiritually with the energy of everything else that others would filter as Japanese. When you don't have blocks about something, it's better to have an acceptance of the culture than still these hidden prejudices that a lot of people still carry with them, or just disconnection and ignorance they're still projecting onto a culture, because that'll block your spiritual experience. So at least have a love and acceptance of the culture, so you clear that in the evolution, like organizations like ISIC and some other cultural awareness things. It's great. That's a stepping stone, I see, to the greater power of oneness spiritually. So once you get past those blocks, then you can move to a level of experience where you have no filters, no blocks or hidden prejudices that are holding back a spiritual experience, where you're truly not only in judgment-free states, but if anything, that extra positive love and connection for the culture helps to empower things even more. And I'll tell you, in my experience, that's been true. So from a spiritual perspective, this is actually its core. What I'm saying is very relevant with media, that you would have an engaged spiritual experience with media like this, and also love and respect the people and the culture on those lower levels of the socio-cultural dynamics, so you can love and accept the culture there as well. And it's important to differentiate that. It's very clear, because once you start putting labels on things, oh, this is Japanese, this is, or categorizing things, this is J-pop, it's girly, I don't like the colors in here, it's a certain genre of music, etc., etc., then that's the mind. It's the ego. It's putting labels on things. Spiritually, there are no labels. So we can view it and reference it on the sociocultural level. And I encourage you to, and I'll have to teach more on this, clear your blocks to connect and respect and love and accept on the sociocultural level, so that you don't have blocks to spiritual growth, healing, spiritual experience. So a lot of Westerners, they're really like on a personal journey, a personal spiritual growth journey. Well, the reality with oneness is that we are all connected. So if you still have sociocultural blocks that were influenced when you're growing up, like our country's the best, and then you just don't have connection or experience towards other cultures, and you still have these hidden prejudices and false beliefs about other cultures, if you're still carrying that in your energy field, a personal spiritual journey, it's blocking you from oneness, that we are all connected. So with self-awakening, what we're actively doing is referencing spiritual energy from around the world. It's not just in your social culture. This is oneness. We bring it. This represents it. The global media that is there beyond the different social cultures and languages. Like, why would you be interested in world music? That's a category. This is spirituality. This is oneness. This is beyond all of that. We merge that. We bring it with self-awakening. We represent that. And if it wasn't for my Isaac roots, I don't know if this would have ever evolved, because I have a love and genuine respect for other cultures. It fascinates me. Spirituality is beyond that. So if you want to reach oneness beyond a personal spiritual journey or experience, you have to actually and actively respect, connect to, and love other cultures, because they are all connected in the spirituality and sexuality of oneness. Because oneness would be universal, not just from a single culture. It's not just from Thailand. It's not just from South Korea. It's not just from the US. It's universal. So the stepping stone is global acceptance, love, and forgiveness for your own projections on the other cultures. It's like, wow. It's like, I knew this. I'm taking it for granted, but now I'm clarifying some things that it's actually more important than I realize in a person's spiritual journey, because oneness is universal. It's global. So Isaac really helped AIESEC. It's the International Business Student Organization. I had friends from 30 countries in college and university, UW-Madison. It really set a solid foundation for me. And I'm just so international. It's embedded for life. And that's my foundation, is I don't have blocks about other cultures, about other countries. I have a full love and acceptance for them. I think that's one of the reasons why I'm so advanced with this. So you got to ask yourself, do I really have blocks? And you may not be aware of it because it might be subconscious. So you really got to dig into this and see, because they might be subconscious, but do you have issues? And I can pretty much tell you that you probably do, because if you're not actively engaged, connected to, or loving other cultures, you're probably not as connected to oneness as you could be. So now we're taking things beyond just media or ethnographic, sociocentric media like pop, Western, mainstream advertising culture and pop media, social culture. We're doing things for years. I've been doing them with self-awakening that have a global foundation at the root, a love and acceptance of other social cultures, because this is coming from Japan, other things coming from different countries, from France, Thailand, South Korea. But by having that love, acceptance, and respect for a culture, it opens you up to really get into advanced states of connection to the energy that's coming from that culture, because otherwise you'd be filtering it, coloring it, tainting it from not only your own ego and personal beliefs, but all of your sociocultural background that's been disconnected from it, that's been prejudicing, that's been ignorant towards the culture. So you don't even have to understand Japanese language or even personally get too much into it, but spiritually you have to love and accept and embrace Japanese culture, for example, on the emotional and spiritual levels. You want to have a clarity, so you're not tainting or coloring things through your own prejudices, through the filter of society, social, and the ego. You're seeing things for what they are. Vishen Lakhiani doing some amazing things with Mind Valley. He was also an Isaacer. He was in Isaac. And we were at the same parties. And now I just saw something today of how they're rebranding things, and guess what their new identity is? It's about awakening. I mean, there's some very exciting things going on. Like, they brought in this very effective big name consultant who's worked with big companies and so forth, and their new thing is awaken. So instead of that personal experience, you start connecting to the power of hundreds of millions of people beyond just Japanese culture. All of the collective spiritual energy at that frequency you're connecting to in a video like this. So it's getting past your own filters and prejudices, because it's still hard for me to believe how much prejudice is still out there, and these hidden like blocks that people are really only coloring reality with their own filters. When love is all, when you actually in this process connect to one, this is the practicality of it. I guess I was so advanced then because most people are only about their culture and what's going on. I actively connected on the social level with dozens of countries, and I had friends from dozens of countries, and that was a stepping stone to oneness. So if there are spiritualists out there teaching oneness as a personal thing, well, I'm just saying with self-awakening, we bring it because it's a global thing. And the relevancy, the power of energy in media is global. It's no longer is it about your own social culture or experiencing something socioculturally. With spirituality, with the media and the spirituality of media, this is oneness. So when you can bring into your own sessions a global mix, you can love and respect those on the cultural level, so you get past your own filters, then you can get into the spiritual energy. And this is what I've been doing for years. Now I'm just saying it from this angle. It's like, oh my goodness, how it connects to oneness. That's what you're doing in your self-awakening sessions. So this is some very exciting stuff about connecting to oneness, removing your own filters to higher experience, and some very exciting stuff. So we'll just stop this awareness session here.